very excited, and I don't care if you are, because this is my show. We're talking to Tom Bergeron right now. Tom, good morning.
How are you, Big J?
I'm pretty dang good. People might know you because you host about 62% of these shows on television these days.
No, I think Ryan Seacrest has about 54%, and I take the rest.
Yeah,
that's the deal we've cut.
You split it. It's like a new show comes, and they just pitch it to you guys. They're like, Seacrest or Bergeron? Seacrest or Bergeron? Who wants it? Well, you've made some good choices here. Obviously, people probably know you from Dancing with the Stars because it's a hot show. I mean, everybody's loving it, and you've been on that for, 5 years now you've been doing that?
No, 7. We started in June of 2005.
Wow, my math is all. I just guess. Like, I see numbers,
That's
and I just
right.
I'm like,
yeah,
it sounds like
ballpark.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's still, you guys are doing the All-Stars right now. How's that going?
That's going well. It's sort of the best of the best, and we're getting down to the home stretch now, and we'll start knocking off 2 couples a week for the next couple of weeks as we get towards the semifinals and finals.
Awesome. Who do you think's going to take this one? I'm going to guess the Joey Fat one.
He's already gone.
Damn. He's been on the show too, and I just like saying Joey Fat one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna put my money on one of the Olympians, so it's either gonna be Shawn Johnson or Apollo.
All right. Well, that could well be. I'm not going to give you a name because then I have to go to work with the others who are annoyed that I pick somebody else.
Certainly, and if you pick anybody other than Kirstie Alley, you're definitely going to be eaten. So watch out.
That could be.
Watch out. What about AFV? This show never dies. It's been on for over 23 seasons.
That's right. We're in our 23rd now, and this Sunday is a milestone. We hit our 500th episode. That's only 3 other primetime shows in history have done that. The Simpsons, Gunsmoke, and Lassie.
Wow.
And now us.
It's crazy. It's been around forever. Who is it? Just you and Bob Saget that have hosted?
No, Bob did it for the first 8 years. Daisy Fuentes, the lovely Daisy Fuentes, and John Fugelsang co-hosted it for a couple of years. There was 1 or 2 seasons that essentially were a series of specials hosted by whoever the ABC sitcom star of the time was. And then I took it over in 2001, and it's been a weekly series ever since.
Wow. I don't even remember those people. I remember you and Saget, so that's a good thing. That's good for you.
Daisy and John did it for just a couple of seasons, and Bob's version was, of course, the original at a half hour long, and mine has been an hour long since 01.
No,
Bob and I are friends, and actually I got him to come back and do a special episode during our 20th.
Oh, very cool.
Which was a real treat.
That's awesome. Yeah, he seems like a really cool guy. When he
really is. He's one of the raunchiest stand-up comics you'll ever see, but in real life, total mensch. I mean, just one of the nicest guys.
That's what I've heard. I've heard he's just a super cool guy, and I've seen some of his dirty comedy, and I'm just like, yeah, he seems like just a cool, dirty comedian. Every dirty comedian I know personally are awesome people at heart, so I assume kind of he's the same.
I agree with you.
How'd you get into that? Explain to me kind of your career trajectory. Like, where did you begin in the entertainment world, and how'd you get to where you are today, where you're the Seacrest, the other side of Seacrest?
The other side of Seacrest.
Yeah.
Well, I started in radio when I was in high school, and I had a teacher at my high school who worked part-time as a newsman at the local radio station, and he got me in for an interview, and the guy put me on the air. I remember the first guy that ever hired me in radio said to me, "There's no money in this. I'll prove it to you. I'll give you a job."
I know. Isn't that? I was just going to say when you said you got into radio, I'm like, well, clearly at some point you made the right move because you're not in radio anymore.
But that was a sort of a happy accident. I was doing a radio show in New Hampshire, and some people in Boston TV were listening to me, and they invited me to come audition for some things. So the TV stuff I hadn't really planned. It just kind of presented itself to me, which was great.
That's what I need. I need TV stuff. I had a local TV show here, but I screwed it all up and it went away. And it was local, so it doesn't matter.
How did you screw it up? Now, we're going to turn this into a therapy session. How did you screw it up?
Oh my gosh, you do not know what mess you're opening your tongue. But there was, let's just put it this way: my co-host was gorgeous.
Yes.
And the rest is history.
Oh, Oh, okay. You had a little showmance there.
There was a little. There was a little bit happening there, and the show's no longer on the air, but it was very good in my opinion. And the co-host is still in my life, so we kind of do our own show just on a personal level now.
Well,
so.
that works.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't have to break for commercials.
It's absolutely true. I love it. So you started out radio guy, and then just kind of slipped into the TV thing, and then
started working in TV in Boston. Went to New York when FX Cable launched in '94, and hosted a morning show there. And
did you always want to? I mean, did you want to get into the acting side of things, or did you just kind of know that your niche was hosting?
I really always thought of myself as a broadcaster first. And I love doing live stuff. I love doing improv. So to that extent, I was working with some theater companies and things. But the acting thing was never the top push for me. It was always either radio or TV shows.
That's awesome. We have an improv troupe here, and we have a show tonight even, and we had a show last night. But I own an improv company here in Billings. You should come up for a vacation, do some fishing. We just had John.
I love Montana. When I did a hitchhiking, plane hopping radio series years ago, I spent about 4 or 5 days in Whitefish.
Oh, right on. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I remember I was sitting at a bar in Whitefish, Montana, sitting with, as it turned out, the owner of the radio station in Whitefish, and we were getting drunk together, and he offered me the morning shift. And I thought, number one, I live in New England. I got to get back home, but he won't remember this in the morning anyway.
Yeah, that's actually how radio works. That's how I got my job too. I just we were doing
Boilermakers at a bar in Whitefish, Montana.
And yeah, that's exactly how things happen for me here as well. But you should come up sometime and do some. We just had John McCain in the studio last week. He was up here stumping for our Republican guy who lost. But he was here, and he comes up literally 6 or 7 times a year to fish. You should come up sometime and fish, and while you're here, come and do a guest spot on our improv stage, just because it would be hilarious to have a 75-person crowd watching an amateur improv group that's been doing it for 10 years together with special guest Tom Bergeron. I just think it would be so funny and out of place that it would be.
That's a very appetizing invite.
Yes, someday, or just agree to. Everybody always is I'll do it. I got Lindsay Lohan's mom a few months ago to say, I love Montana. I'll definitely come out there and get in touch with you. I just make people promise stuff, and then of course I never expect them actually to come.
Yeah, well, you've had politicians there. You're used to that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Totally. What else is what's happening in life after this? Or do you think, are you kind of okay, we got a few more years? Obviously your contracts and stuff. Are you going to just ride these out for a while and do your thing, or do you have new stuff planned? Do you have some curves?
In all honesty, pretty much loving what I'm doing right now. Don't have any burning desire to, develop another show while I'm doing these two. I think that's the kind of thing that would become clearer to me if I'm unemployed. I'm getting restless. But for right now, I love dancing and AFB and the people I work with, and I'm happy to keep showing up as long as they keep putting these shows on the air. Yeah.
Is it awesome for you? I know how it is in radio. I've been doing this show for 8 or 9 years now, and you start out and it's they pay you crap, and then eventually it's they start paying you a little bit more because things are going well, and then eventually when you become a quote-unquote local celebrity, then you start getting paid pretty decent, where you're holy crap, this is insane. My job is so awesome, and I'm making this much money. Do you still get that feeling where it's where you sign a new Dancing with the Stars contract, and you're
look,
my gosh,
I'm having a ball doing what I do, and they pay me very well for what I do, and I'm always cognizant of the greater sort of scheme of things. And karmic energy and all that. So there's never a day that goes by where I don't knock wood and thank whatever is happening that made this happen.
Yeah, I know. I do the same thing too, where it's I drive into my garage and I'm man, this is I dreamed of having a house like this when I was 80 years old, and I have it now at this age. I'm man, life can just be super awesome sometimes, and
that's good.
It's luck, man. It's getting the right gig and locking it in, and
but also you got to show up. Yes, luck plays a part. There's no denying it. But you've got to, regardless of, whether I worked at a 1,000-watt station or a 50,000-watt station, I tried to show up every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the reasons that people in television called me. So that's what I tell students, that's what I tell kids who are just coming up, is don't phone it in, because that's the day the person who could change your life will be listening.
Yeah, that's very true.
Screwed yourself.
And you got to be, that's what I tell people, which I'm sure they probably would listen to you over me, but I speak to all these little school kids and stuff. You have to pretend you care about the community if you're in this kind of line of work. But I go talk to these kids and I say, they're like, how do you get into radio? And I say, it's impossible. Nobody gets a show. You don't just get given a show, at least not, in a market under, 1 through 5. Anything under that, the way you get into radio is by being in the right place at the right time. I said, every guy I know that's successful in radio, the vice president of our company, our general manager, like all of us, we started taking out trash or running a board. It's like you start at the bottom, and then when they need somebody real quick, they turn to you, and then you do it, and you do a dang good job, and then they move you up. It's like you just got to start at the bottom of whatever you want to do and be there and kick butt, and eventually you'll start moving up the ranks, and you'll get to the place you want to be.
And then you'll be hosting the 500th episode of AFV this Sunday night.
That's what I'm talking about. AB, you guys have given away $12 million over the years. That is insane. I always wonder, I'm like, are these videos real? Are they really giving money to people? Like, it all just, for some reason, it's so weird to think, like, you have a video of a baby grabbing poop out of his diaper and smearing it on his mom's face, and you gave that lady $100,000.
I'm going to have to leave you wondering that very thing, because we've got other interviews sort of circling like planes over an airport right now. It's been a total pleasure talking to you, and I think you've got a great attitude about what you do and how to do it, and I wish you all the best.
I love it. That was the classiest out ever. Mr. Tom Bergeron, the busiest man in TV aside from Ryan Seacrest. Tom, it's been great, man. I loved having you on, and best of luck with AFV this weekend. Have a fun.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.